do you want to hear a story about journalists on the front stack?
I think we would love that story.
So I was in Africa.
The crazy ass story.
I was
finding some new house cleaners.
I was a team chief of a psychological operations
element.
That one almost got me.
And I was attached to a joint operation that was evacuating an embassy. I'm not going to get into where and whatever, but this whole joint operation
sounds like it would have been a big one.
So we're doing this whole.
God only knows which one that could have been.
So I'm an E5, right? So I'm an NCO, so I'm in charge of a couple guys. Should I explain like rank structure?
E5, you're in charge of a team. That's like your
like. Should I break it down, or should I just get through it?
No, you can give a little breakdown.
Okay. So I'm an E5. I got 2 guys below me because it's PSYOP roles and 3-man teams. But I'm sitting in the command center of the 101st Airborne. And if you don't know what the 101st Airborne is, I mean, that was D-Day, right? Did they do D-Day?
1 or 2 movies have been made about
Yes, quite a few of them. So I am talking with the commander of this element because they're the ones that we're moving with, we're getting on the plane with. And then I get assigned somebody from the Air Force who is combat camera. So combat camera is journalists for the Air Force. That's what they are.
Cameraman never dies.
And you should never treat them indifferently. Oh, they do.
Are you
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they...
Those ones do.
They 100% can.
So they're journalists. And so I get...
Next test on Ballistic Highspeed.
so I get a... Basically,
can you kill journalists?
Is Bryce bulletproof?
They're like, hey, like, this guy's now with you because you're the joint element, because Army and Air Force often work together better than like with Navy and Marines, because Navy and Marines often work together. We've got everybody in here. We got PJs, all these motherfuckers. So I'm in this meeting. It's all the captains, the majors. There's a lieutenant colonel in here. It's lieutenants. I'm probably the lowest ranked dude in this room. And he's going through. He's like, all right. He's like, I don't know. Should I go? Yeah, it'll be all right. Whatever. So they're like, we're gonna.
I've had these. Trust me.
I love it when they.
I'm like, is this a war crime or not a war crime?
No, it wasn't.
I love it. It's not a war crime.
I love it when
to my infantry buddies. That's probably a bad metric.
Just like so many of your guys.
Further record.
When
This is a hypothetical story. It didn't actually happen. He's just telling them Africa doesn't exist. No one can prove it. I've never seen it in real life.
When the answer to OPSEC is fuck it, I'm fucking on board.
So we're gonna get in country. We're gonna commandeer vehicles, and then we're going to move to the embassy to secure the location, which means we're taking the airstrip. Because then you're commandeering all of the vehicles on the airstrip. And then we are moving inland, and we are securing our embassy because there is a military coup that is happening, and our embassy is being shot at, and our people can't leave. So the Marines are securing the outer perimeter, and we are coming to reinforce them to get everybody out of Dodge.
The undisclosed embassy that nobody could put together.
Nobody can Google.
So
which one we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're going through this whole deal, and then I get told that this combat camera guy is now with me. And he's a staff sergeant. I'm a sergeant. And I was like, fuck, now I got this dude that like thinks he's going to outrank me. So I tell my major, I'm like, hey, I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this guy? And he's like, nah, dude, he's an Air Force staff sergeant. It's like an E3 Army. And I was like, oh, all right, so fuck him. so
he respects cameramen, obviously.
No, I respect rank. He ain't got it. So we're going through this meeting with these 101st guys, and we're going through the actual, like, where are we developing the CCP, the casualty collection points? Like, we start taking casualties, like, where am I dragging bodies? Where are we setting up machine gun nests? And then I'm coordinating the PSYOP part, so it's like, where am I getting loudspeakers? Because if radios go down, I have loudspeakers, so now the commander can talk to that guy. Like, we're doing this whole fucking battle plan. And this combat camera guy, he's like, hey, he's like, and when this is all going on, he's like, I need to be like with whoever's the front moving element. He's like, I have to document this. And I didn't know what to do because I didn't think he was going to fucking talk. And so I'm just sitting there, and the commander that I'm working under from the 101st has the whole tower. SF, Ranger, Sapper, Airborne, and then he's got the one that you think is under there.
Oh, okay.
Got them all.
He got the knife.
Chest candy for days. I think he's been in school the whole time that he's been in the military. Like, it's, dude, stacked up. And he looks at him, he goes, that is not where you're going to be. Where are you going to be? And then he didn't know what to do. And I was like, sir, he's going to be with me. I was like, we're going to lock down at the CCP. That way, my loudspeaker, if you need communications, I was like, we're going to be back here. Trust me. Like, he's like, no, I was, you are not going to the front of this point. His training was you have to get yourself to the front. And I was like, dude,
But in
you're
relation,
gonna get killed.
That's insane.
in relation to the movie Civil
Yes.
War, though, like
he just wanted to document.
That's their job. So
Yes.
it's
but
brand
in relation to the movie, like that's at least a guy who was in the U.S. military hierarchy. These are just rando fucking independent journalists.
Well, so
Who are-
you
have
can wear
no-
the press vest as long as both sides obey the Geneva Convention.
But not only
do that.
Yes. I've heard many stories of the Geneva Convention being obeyed
Especially
by
when they're-
countries that aren't the United States.
Especially when they're losing, they're really good at it.
So we go.
They
through
make
this whole
great
thing.
one man.
So we go through this whole thing.
God, they don't mention
I'll wrap
goats in the
this
Geneva
story up now.
Convention.
But so they do get this this mentality of, because that is where the action is happening. So that is like where they naturally think they want to be and need to be.
For me?
So we go through this whole thing. We finally develop a battle plan. Everybody knows where they're going in the sea. We've made contact with the Marines. We're doing all this stuff. We're loaded up on the bird and waiting for takeoff. And then this guy comes up on the ramp. And it's the crew chief. I probably got that wrong. It's the guy that's in charge of whether or not you're on this fucking plane. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, who's PSYOP? And I turned to my guys. I was like, did he say PSYOP? Nobody talks about us. He was like, who the fuck is PSYOP? And I was like, yeah, right here. And he was like, get the fuck off the plane. And I was like, no, sir. I was like, there's a riot. We're doing this whole riot control deal. He's like, no. He's like, get the fuck off the plane. The ambassador doesn't want you in the country. I was like, cool. I was like, me? I was like, there's a riot. He's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, you're off the plane. He's like, we have to take off like now. So we grab our gear, and as we're walking off, all these 101st dudes like, boo, you fucking suck. Me and my dudes, tail between our legs, fucking walk off this plane.
That's so military.
And then the
Bitches, get out of here.
exactly. So then the door goes up, and there they fucking go. So then I go back to where we're like all of our people are at, and my major's in there, and I walk through the door, and he's like, "You missed that plane. I'm gonna bury you in this fucking country." And I was like, "No, sir." I said, "Ambo threw me out of country." So I got thrown out of the country.
That's
So
God damn.
goes forward. That whole mission goes. You can look it up online, wherever you want that information. So all those dudes that go on this mission, they wind up just doing their thing, and nothing special happens. I get called to this congregation where the 2-star general that's in charge of the entire area of operations is giving an award ceremony. And I get called up, and I get served a Joint Service Achievement Medal for all of my efforts in coordinating the joint operation that was in charge of the liberation of... And I got thrown off the fucking plane.
I'm just imagining. I'm imagining like
Boo.
I'm imagining the PTSD fucking lockdown. Like you just like kind of like shaking and like over your shoulder. There's a ghost like, get the fuck off the plane.